Everybody asking how we doing, say we good. Don't need no one to tell me how to live just like they would. It ain't their business, but they in it, I don't know why. Revolved around my life after I found another.
Hi, my name is Fatima Bila binti Mamanul Hakim. My meeting number is HFT20103. Today I will explain the summary of chapter 4, which is perception and meaning. The chapter on perception and meaning delves into the intricate dynamics of how individuals interpret and understanding their surroundings within the organizational context. Through comprehensive exploration of various concepts and phenomena, readers gain insight into the pivotal role perception plays in shaping organizational behavior. And the next is, we must know the understanding perception. Understanding perception is the discussion commences with an exploration of perception, defined as the process by which individuals interpret and make sense of stimuli from their environment. It elucidates how perception is not merely passive reception of stimuli but a complex cognitive process influenced by numerous factors. And the next is influencing factor. Central to understanding of perception are the three primary factors that influence its formation. The first is the perceiver, the target, and disaggregation. This factor encompasses an individual's past experience, belief, emotion, the characteristics of the target being perceived, and the contextual elements surrounding the perception. The first is the perceiver. There are 5 perceivers available. Among them are attitudes, motive, interest, experience, and expectation. I will explain one by one. The first is attitudes. Attitudes is each individual in the meeting brings their own attitudes, which can color their interpretation of the discussion. For example, a positive attitude towards a project can lead to a more favorable perception of its feasibility and the contribution of colleagues. And the next is motive. Motive is the underlying motive of the participants, such as career advancement, personal recognition, or team success, will influence how they perceive the information and interaction in the meeting. The next is interest. Interest is personal and professional interest shape what each individual focuses on. Someone interested in financial outcomes might pay more attention to budget discussion, while another might focus on innovative aspects. The next is experience. Experience is past experience with similar project, meetings, or individuals will inform how participants interpret the current situation. For instance, if someone had a negative experience in a previous project, they might be more skeptical. The next is expectation. What participants expect to achieve from the meeting will shape their perception. High expectation can lead to positive engagement, while low expectation might result in dissatisfaction. And the next is the target or object. This factor have 5 the target or object available. Among them are novelty, motions, sound, proximity, size, and background. I will explain one by one. The first is novelty. Novelty is new and innovative ideas presented during the meeting might be perceived more favorably due to their novelty, grabbing attention and interest. The next is motion. Motion is dynamic presentation or demonstration can be more engaging, entertain how the information is received. The next is sound. Sound is the clarity and tones of speaker voice as well as the pieces of authoritative text, like video, can affect perception. The next is proximity. What is proximity? Proximity is physical closeness to the speaker or the center of activity, can influence engagement and understanding. Those sitting closer might perceive the discussion more intensely. The lastly is size or background. Size or background is the prominence of visual aids like charts or slides, and their background can affect how information is interpreted. Clear, well-designed visuals are more likely to be perceived accurately. And the factor number 3 is the situation. There are three situations. Among them are time, work environment, and social environment. I will explain one by one. The first is time. The time of day and duration of the meeting can influence participants' attention and perception. Meeting held late in the day or that run too long might lead to fatigue, affecting perception negatively. And the next is work environment. Work environment is the organizational culture, the physical environment of the meeting room. Lighting, seating arrangement play a role in how the meeting is perceived. A comfortable, inclusive environment promotes positive perception. The next is social environment. Social environment is the dynamics among the group, including hierarchy, team cohesion, and interpersonal relationship will influence perception. For example, a collaborative and respectful atmosphere fosters positive perception. So, by understanding this factor, managers and teams members can better navigate meetings and interaction, fostering an environment where perceptions are more aligned with reality and conducive to effective communication and decision making. Recognizing the potential for perceptual distortion and working to mitigate them can lead to more productive and harmonious organizational outcomes. And the next is perceptual distortion. Perceptual distortion is the chapter eliminates the concept of perceptual distortion, whereby individuals' perceptions are skewed or biased due to various cognitive bias and physiological factors. This distortion impede accurate perception and include phenomena such as stereotypes, the halo effects, selective perception, projection, contrast effect, and self-fulfilling prophecy. Perception through anxiety for understanding the world around us can often be skewed by various cognitive bias and physiological factors. Here are 6 common perceptual distortions discussed. The first is selective perceptions. Selective perception is individuals have a tendency to focus on a certain aspect of situation while ignoring others, leading to an incomplete or biased understanding of the whole picture. And number 2 is halo effects. Halo effect is people tend to form a general impression of others based on a single characteristic, allowing the characteristics to influence the overall perceptions, sometimes inaccurately. And number 3 is simultaneous effects. This is individuals may perceive those who resemble them favorably compared to those who are dissimilar, potentially leading to bias in judgment and decision. And number 4 is first impression errors. First impression error is the initial judgment of a person of the carries significant weight in subsequent interaction, even if it may not accurately represent the individual's true qualities or capabilities. And number 5 is stereotypes. What is stereotypes? Stereotype is assumption about individuals based on their membership in particular group can lead to the belief that all members of the group share the same characteristics of behavior, disregarding individual difference. And number 6 is contrast effects. Contrast effects in when comparing two similar situations or events, individuals may observe perceived difference between them, impacting their perception of each event independently. This perceptual distortion highlights the complexity of human cognition and fundamental pitfalls in accurately understanding and interpreting the world around us. Recognizing and mitigating this bias is crucial for making informed decisions and fostering fair and inclusive interaction in various contexts. The next is meaning. What's the meaning of learning? Learning is a continuous process that leads to relatively permanent change in behavior due to experience. There are three primary theories explaining how we develop consistent behavior patterns. The first is classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is learning through association between stimuli. For example, Pavlov's dogs by Van Pavlov, a Russian physiologist. This explains about a dog learns to salivate when it hears a bell because it associates the bell with being fed. And number 2 is operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is learning through consequences such as rewards and punishment. For example, study for good grades by B.F. Skinner, an American physiologist. This tells about a student studies hard to get good grades because past good grades result in praise and rewards. And the next is social learning, learning through observing and imitating others. For example, Manners by Albert Bandura, a Canadian-American physiologist. This tells about a child learns to say please and thank you by watching their parents use their face regularly. And the conclusion of the summary is the chapter of perception and learning differs into how individuals interpret their surroundings within an organization. It examines the role of perception influenced by factors like the receiver, the target, and the situation, and highlight common perceptual distortions such as selective perception, the halo effects, and stereotypes. Understanding and mitigating this bias is crucial for effective communication and decision making. The chapter also explains learning as continuous process resulting lasting behavioral change, detailing three primary theories: classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and social learning with practical examples. These insights are essential for managers and team members to navigate perceptual changes and apply learning principles to achieve productive and harmonious organizational outcomes. That's all for me. Thank you for watching.